Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. So, any questions, clarifications on what we did last time? He is speaking from a very pragmatic angle. Okay, yeah. About your dharma, etc. Which the class before that we saw very elaborately. Universal dharma, part of that is your swadharma, etc. So I think that is clear for people. Okay. Then he had ended that session by saying, in the 38th verse, Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo. Sukha and dukkha, making them the same. Labha labho, gain and loss as the same. Jaya ajayo, victory and defeat as the same. Meaning they are different. Nobody wants the second option. Who wants to lose? Who wants to lose? Yeah. But he says, making it the same. There's a big difference in it. How do we do that? Okay. For that, the next section of the Gita starts. Okay. The whole next section explains that very, very clearly. Okay. So how does it start? Okay. With Krishna's own words. Esha te abhihita sankhye buddhi yogi tvimam shrunu buddha yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Ye tesham abhitaha esham te abhihita sankhye. What I have spoken to you from the standpoint of Sankhya. Remember, second chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Na? Sankhya means what? Samyak khyati iti Sankhya. Samyak khyati, clear cut understanding, proper knowledge. Pramanagyani jnanam, jnanam that is born from a means of knowledge. This is called Sankhya. And in the context here, the pramana is Vedanta, the Gita. The subject matter is I, the truth of I and the world. So he says, I have unfolded the whole thing to you from the standpoint of Atma Jnanam. Now listen to me talking about the same thing from the standpoint of Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi Yoga is Karma Yoga. Understand that this is very important. This part is very important to understand. Buddhi Yoga is nothing but Karma Yoga. Why? Karma Yoga is not a yoga of action. It is a yoga of an attitude towards action. Okay. That is why the word Buddhi Yoga is used. Buddhi can stand for knowledge, emotions, attitude, etc. Okay. Therefore, he says, I am going to explain the same thing from the standpoint of Karma Yoga. Meaning, how will Karma Yoga look at the whole thing? The question of fighting a battle. From the standpoint of the reality, I said there is nothing, neither life nor death. There is neither birth nor death. There is no issues. What is your problem of fighting the battle? If you find that difficult, then he did an ardha angikara, a half acceptance. Said, even if you think there is birth and death, how to go about it? Then from the standpoint of duty, he talked about. In all this, fighting the battle becomes inevitable. Okay. As far as your functioning is concerned, fighting the battle is inevitable, he says. Now, the same thing I am going to talk to you about from the standpoint of Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is with what attitude you are going to do whatever you need to do. This can include your duties, like here in Arjuna's case, as far as the battle is concerned. It also includes your desire prompted activity. Okay. Desire prompted activity also, yeah. He says, why? Buddhya yukto yaya partha. Hey partha, taking to this buddhi, this attitude, karma bandham prahasyasi, you will be free from the bondage of karma. Certain things I have to clarify before I go into Karma Yoga. One is, everyone will see immediately when I talk about Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma. Okay. Now, Nishkama Karma is a technical expression. Nishkama Karma is a technical expression. People foolishly translate it as work without expecting results. Then why are you doing anything anyway? If you don't want the result, why are you wasting your time doing that activity? Swamiji, is not for myself. I am doing social work. So you are doing social work. Have you done a need identification before you did that work, took up that project? No, Swamiji, I just did something. Then you are a do-gooder that causes more harm than good in the society. Yeah, because you feel something is necessary. That's your desire for what they should be doing. You have a desire what they need, and you are going to try to implement it. And they say, we don't need this. Do you expect your action will change that little bit of area, wherever you are doing that work? Of course. Otherwise, why am I doing it? Then there is karma. There is desire for the result. No, Swamiji, I am just doing it for time pass. Then that is your expectation. The time is weighing heavily on you. Wow, you must be one of those lucky guys in today's age that you have so much of time that you want to do time pass activity. Really? You have the time for doing time pass? I don't. All the people here whom I know well, one-to-one basis, they don't have time to pass. Yeah. In fact, the complaint today is there are only 24 hours in a day. We are compromising on our sleep, etc. But even if you are doing time pass activities, your desire is to pass the time so that you don't get bored. Like there is a time when I used to regularly travel on this Bombay-Surat route. I used to do some development work in the society, in those villages, and set up between between Maharashtra, Gujarat border areas, Dhanu, Golwad and all the interior areas. I used to do some work. So when I am traveling, I am using that time productively, if nothing, to read something. Okay. Those days we never used to lug our laptops around and do all that work. In fact, cell phones, etc., just started coming into India. It came into India around 93, 94, where you used to pay 16 rupees a minute. So nobody would use a cell phone for anything else other than emergency calls. Urgent calls, work calls, etc. So I used to pick up a book, I always had a bag with me, a book would always be inside, I would read. Or I would see in all this racket whether I can contemplate, how focused I can be. But there used to always be these people selling peanuts coming along, you know. So there are 2-3 names for it. One was Indian Badam, Indian Badam. As though India doesn't produce Badam. India produces a lot of Badam, okay. But that's what they would say, to jack up, you know, to their quality, like Indian Badam. Another more interesting name was Time Pass, Time Pass, Time Pass. You eat to pass the time, you eat peanuts. So even time pass activities has a purpose, to pass the time. You have a desire there. An intelligent person will have an intelligent expectation for his activity, for his action. A fool will have foolish expectations. But expectations are always there. Yeah. Why are you taking this Gita class? I expect that most of you will understand. Minimum expectation. Why did Krishna teach Arjuna? Minimum expectation. Arjuna will understand and do what has to be done. He may not expected thanks, etc. from Arjuna. But this much minimum expectation was there that Arjuna will understand. Otherwise, why did he go on for so many verses after verses after verses? He should have just said, hey, you're the stupid Atma here. Come on, go fight. Don't be a stupid character. Yeah, understand, don't understand, doesn't matter. But those times was like, yeah, get lost, fight. Idiot like you. Because he doesn't expect. But on and on, verse after verse after verse after verse, he goes to the end of the Gita, 700 verses. For what? Minimum expectation that Arjuna will understand. Yeah. So, Karma Yoga is not work without expecting results. Another skill in action is yoga. We hear this. Skill in action. Even now, those days even more. Travel by local trains, no? Some very skillful characters around, you know. Who will take your wallet from your pocket without you understanding it. Take the valuables from your bag without understanding, without you coming to know. Very skillful. They are all great yogis, huh? A hired assassin, top class, international standard. He will do the job and disappear without a trace. You won't even make out who has come and killed whom and gone. Great yogi, skillful. It requires great skill to be an assassin like that. So, a skillful person need not be a yogi. Yogi may be skillful in his field of activity. In his field of activity. Skill comes by intelligently repeating and practicing whatever you are going to do. Yeah. So, all this is not Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? Let us hear from Krishna himself. So, before that he puts a few introductory verses. Okay. Nehiva abhikramana nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapi asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Iha karma yoge buddhi yoge iha. Here meaning in buddhi yoga, karma yoga. Abhikrama nashaha na asti. There is no waste of effort. Nashaha, destruction, waste of abhikramaha, your effort. Your effort doesn't go to waste. Success or failure you gain. Wow, that is something. Pratyavayaha na vidyate. What is pratyavaya? Pratyavaya dosha can be looked upon from various standpoints. The Vedic standpoint is the sin of omission. You are supposed to do something and you didn't do it. I am supposed to do something. Okay. I don't do. That is called, then it seems you will have pratyavaya dosha, the sin or the fault of doing something that you are supposed to do, of not doing something you are supposed to do. Pratyavaya dosha. Okay. But remember, people overextended this. You are supposed to do some Vedic karma regularly, your japa, etc. If I don't do it, what happens? Overextension is, oh, God will get angry with me. Many of us have this. I do a puja daily. If I don't do it today, God will get angry. You know my rough and ready answer to such people? क्या भगवान को और कुछ काम धंधा नहीं है क्या, except to get angry at an idiot like you? Do you really consider yourself that important? In these things, you do, phalam will be there. Don't do, no phalam. So don't overextend this pratyavaya to karma and worship and things like that, okay? You are supposed to do certain duties you didn't do. Therefore, that is called pratyavaya. Okay? Because if the idea of exaggerating it like that there is, if you don't do what you are supposed to do, you will start doing what you are not supposed to do. Yeah. That's why parents like to keep their children busy all the time. Send them to this football class, send them to that art class, send them to this music class, send them to that dance class. Why? Let him use up his energies, otherwise he'll get into mischief. Relax, give them some free time, let them get into some mischief. If as a 10-year-old is not going to get mischief, what do you expect him to do? Get into mischief in his 20s? He'll mess up his studies and his career. 30s, he'll mess up his marriage. 40s, come on. You have to do your mischief in your early years. It's good. Yeah. So when I see kids not getting into mischief, I am a little bit concerned. Teenagers not rebelling, I am a bit concerned. You know. Teenage rebellion is appropriate. Not there, it's problematic. Anyway, pratyavaya dosha. Therefore, he says there is no pratyavaya dosha. Why? Because you will be doing what you are supposed to do. Karma yoga, remember, action is a yoga of a particular attitude in your action. So, action is there, you will do what you are supposed to do. Okay. Therefore, pratyavaya na vidyate. Swalpam api asya dharmasya. Even a little bit of karma yoga attitude in your life, na? Trayate mahato bhayat. From great fear, fear of loss, fear of inaction, fear of lack of spiritual fulfillment, the fear of losing spirituality, all that you are saved from, he says. So, karma yoga, in other words, is a big thing. Yeah? Big thing. There is no loss of investment. When you do something, you are always afraid of a loss. No? There is no loss here, it's only gain. Whether you succeed or fail, there is only gain for you in karma yoga. Wow, that's something I would like. Then he brings in a very important point here. Okay. Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuranandanaha bahushaka hi anantascha buddhi avyavasayanam. Says vyavasayatmika buddhihi. A well ascertained, focused mind, he says. Asserting what your goal is, focusing on that. You are ascertaining what your purpose is and focusing on that. He says, Ekeva Kuranandana, then you are totally focused on your life. Bahushaka Anantasya, all dissipated energies. For what? Avyavasayanam. So, what is this Vyavasayatmika Buddhi we are talking about? Let us take it very generally first. Okay? focusing on what is your purpose. Little bit of your life mapping, the Vedic way of looking at it comes into the picture. Okay. What is your purpose? Ultimately 6 feet under the ground or 6 by 6. One thing. You are born only to die anyway. Na? So what is the purpose? Death or kya? Because life is a dangerous game. Nobody survives it. Correct? Nobody survives it. But if your purpose was to die, why should you be born in the first place? So that means there is some other purpose. Most of us lead our life by our desires. These desires we pick up mostly by certain socializing processes, etc. Or something inborn in you, some samskaras you are born with. Okay? Most of us focus only on desire. That means what? You are pulled in all directions. Nothing wrong with the desire. But if I am living by my life only by my desires, I am pulled here and there. In opposite directions also. Even if your desire is knowledge, like when I went to college, I was the character who wanted to study physics on one side and psychology on the other side. Not possible those days. Now I think it is possible. In India, that is. But finally I'll have to choose. Do you want to be a physicist or a psychologist? You want to be a physicist with a psychological bent of mind, or you want to be a psychologist with understanding of physics and the world properly? So the education system either will make you a physicist without any understanding of psychology, or a psychologist with no understanding of science. This is what happens. But if I am going only by my desires, I am pulled in all directions. It is like walking on the road and suddenly stopping. Why? That sales window there, all that is displayed. Ha ha ha. And another guy is looking up at a window, 3rd floor. Why? Ha 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 ha. He says, therefore, have a focus. Now, how will you have a focus? Fact is, you have a lot of desires. This we are aware of. This is a fact. Can you deny yourself don't have desires? Sometimes you come to a spiritual lecture and you go back with a new desire. I should not be having a desire. And a new guilt, I can't do it. Both happens. I must not have desires. You pick up, because either the teacher was off talking like that, or you didn't understand him properly, therefore you interpreted what he is saying like that. Both possibilities are there. And some religions propose it also. Desire is the root of all evil. Someone else says money is the root of all evil. Nothing. What is there is there. Okay. You cannot dismiss the fact that as a human being you have desires. And that's the glory of a human being. I always say this. You have to accept the fact that desire is your power. You can get up in the morning and have a desire. I want to eat a cutlet today. Why not? I want to eat an omelette today. Desire. No, rainy season, this thing. Chai ke saath garam garam bhujia khayega. Desire. or misal pav. We went out today morning hunting a place for a camp in case the other place doesn't work out. So we went to Lonavala and all that. So our breakfast was misal pav. Desire. A cow does not get up in the morning and has the desire. Even a Maharashtrian cow doesn't have the desire to have misal pav. Maharashtrian cow means cow owned by a Maharashtrian. So, a desire is a fact of human life. And in fact, life is nothing but management of your desires only. No? Was there any time in your life when you didn't have a desire? As a child, you had childish desires. As a teenager, you had those type of desires. As a middle-aged person, lot more desires. Old man, lot of desires but can't do anything about it. अब तो बिल्कुल बूढ़ा हूँ, गोली खाकर जीता हूँ. तदपि न मुंचति आशा पाशः. Yeah. Desires are always there. Okay. Then how will you? And okay, again, when you fulfill your desire, you get some happiness. Momentary, but you get it. Can you say, I fulfilled a desire and didn't get happy? There may be some exceptions to this rule, like getting married, for example. I'll be happy ever after. You all know what it is about. But temporary, yeah. Why do people make such a big fuss over the wedding? Because that wedding day is supposed to be, you are supposed to be happy. You are also supposed to be anxious. You are also supposed to be worried. No, you are not supposed to be, but you can't avoid it. You can't avoid getting second thoughts. Am I doing the right thing? Because married to this girl means giving up all the other girls in your life romantically. In fact, isn't that what choosing a desire means? Any desire. But Indians get around it very well. Not Indians, human beings. What will you eat? A desire for so many things, but I can't eat. Let us go for a buffet. Unlimited buffet. सब कुछ खा सकते हैं. Even then it is limited. How much can you eat? It is called unlimited, but you... Okay. So now, Vyavasayatmaka buddhi, that single focus, first starts by understanding the priority behind the desire. This is an important point here. Very few teachers of the Gita will tell you this, unless they are traditional. Okay? And aware of the modern life that people live. What is your priority? Your priority is the need behind the desire. Like this person comes and tells me, Swamiji, you do so much of corporate trading and all. अरे यार वो सब एक जमाने में था भी नहीं. Still you know a lot of people. Yeah, I do. Here is my CV. Can you just recommend me for a job? I said, okay, fine. I mean, I'll pass the thing around. I don't know whether you'll get or not, but I'll pass it around. Job situation is tight today, but I'll pass. Okay. And then I ask him, why do you want a job? Why do you want a job? Swamiji, everyone has a job. Now they must do something. Acha, you want a job to do something? I have a lot of work. Work for me, na. But I am a sadhu. Paisa nahi hai. Paisa nahi milega. Swamiji, we have to make money, na. Acha, acha. So it's not the job. It is the money that is important. Yeah. Okay, fine. You know, don't worry about all this. You know that Vada Pav wala, post office corner in Chambur? He makes 10,000 rupees a day. I'm not joking. 10,000 rupees a day profit, working only from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Good job, no? Do it. Oh, Swamiji, how can I do that? Why not? You wanted money, eh? Only 5 hours work. Yeah. Great job. Yeah, your beginning job, you'll get maybe 20,000 rupees a month. Of course, this will take some time for your reputation to build up. I'm not denying that. Yeah. Why not? No, Swamiji. Why? I'm an educated person. So what? Swamiji, there is no social standing. Okay. So you want the job for money, for social standing, correct? Yeah. You know, otherwise without social standing, etc., you know, how will I get married then? That guy got married to a very, very beautiful girl 30 years ago. In fact, the nickname for that Vada Pav stall was Chikni Auntie's Vada Pav stall. Because she's a beautiful girl. 30 years ago, now she's a matron, but 30 years ago, even now she's good looking. 30 years ago, you can get married, no problems. Because social standing is not. Okay. So now look at it. The stated desire is job. What is the hidden need there? Financial independence, social standing. It's not making some money. You need financial independence. You need a career to gain financial independence. To gain social standing, etc., respect of the peers, and so on. These are the hidden need behind the desire. The need behind the desire. Start identifying them. This is an exercise all of us need to do, okay? Irrespective of our age. Because priorities can change with age. Yeah. And these priorities will be there in a few areas of life. One is physical area of life, which will include your health. So what should you be doing for your health? Exercise, rest, nutrition, minimum. Exercise, rest and nutrition. So don't be sleep deprived. Okay. Eat healthy, not junk every day. Once in a way junk is fine. But eat healthy, get enough exercise. I mean, I'm not saying everyone should be bodybuilders. No, but exercise to keep fit and trim. Yeah. Physical, emotional need. So how much money you want to make is also physical. Yeah, because why do you need money for? Living a comfortable life, isn't it? Emotional life. Do you need that one special person in your life, or you're okay with having a few friends? No, I need that one special person to love, okay? Then you need to have a romantic partner. Swamiji, my need is a bit more. I want to have a child of my own. So, emotional need. Now, I want my extended family. Okay, fine. Nothing right or wrong. It is you who have to decide what your priorities are. Emotional. intellectual, which will include your work in terms of your growth in your work, your career growth, in terms of your understanding, learning. Your job gives you much more than the pay. What do you learn from what you're doing? That makes you, in terms of what is here. So learning, and little bit spiritual also. When you're young and starting off, it may be only some stress management, etc. But after that, it can go all the way to moksha. 4 dimensions, you'll have your priorities. Each of these dimensions, you have a certain desire. If you go behind the desire, you understand what your need is. Another thing, another way of looking at it, how do you like to be remembered of when you are no more here? How do you like to be remembered? What is your legacy you leave behind? What do you like to be remembered for? The need for leaving a legacy is there in everyone. But since we can't do anything more than having a couple of kids, we have a couple of kids and forget about it. So in 4 areas, you may have 100 desires in your life. When you look at the priorities in life, it will come down to half a dozen, 10. Emotional needs. Why are you looking at another girl when you have a wonderful wife yourself? Look at what is the emotional need that's not fulfilled. That's why they say work on the relationship. What is missing in your life? Why do you want to study physics and psychology both? Because I want to know that, knowing which everything is known. It's actually the spiritual desire for self-knowledge that manifested like that as desires, which I was lucky enough to identify early. Yeah. Emotional needs are also there for everyone. Physical needs are there for everyone. How much do you need it? Yeah. It is foolish to say you don't have these needs. Very, very foolish to say that. I had people saying, I have no needs, I only have spiritual need, I will join. Within 1 year also other needs start coming up. Because in society there is an escape. When some things come up, this, that, you don't know what to handle, this, that, etc., things like that. Hey, chalo, put on the TV. Escape. Put on some music. Escape. Ashram, there is no escape. There is no TV, there is no music, there is nothing. You are forced to confront yourself. Then all this starts coming up. Then they'll very, after this thing, because they know their guru accepts them as what they are, they're going to tell them, Swamiji, I thought this life was meant for me, but I need to get married and my emotional need. Good, nice. I have been expecting you to come and tell me this. The guru says that also. Yeah. And the guru may even go a step further, like my teacher has done in a few cases. How do you find that girl, your batchmate? Oh, she's a very nice person. She also wants to find somebody. So once you finish studying, why don't you all get married to each other? I mean, common goals in life, no? You don't join an ashram unless the moksha goal is high. But you have other needs because of which you can't be a full-timer. Great, find somebody similar and get married to. Then the emotional need is taken care of, physical need is taken care of. At the same time, moksha is also there in your life. I know a couple like that who started like that, now is building up an ashram to run a course for full-time students. My junior, by about 20 years? My junior, yeah. Are you getting what I'm heading into? Vyavasayatmika buddhi. So now you have 100 desires, bottom down to say 10 priorities. That means if you fulfill this 10, that 100 is as good as fulfilled. You are doing 2-3 activities for the sake of your health. So you picked up some which should take care of your health, then all those 101 things you want to do is no more necessary. No? Because you have understood. Those desires came up from my need for good health. Otherwise you will be like this guy I knew. Okay? He used to go into hard form martial arts, soft form martial arts, yoga, cycling, jogging, 5 things. I said, why? For the sake of health. I said, any 1 or 2 of these activities will take care of all your needs. Why are you going into this 5? And then cribbing that I don't have time to do anything properly. Because 5 activities, 1 day of the week, each activity. You are good at nothing. Focus on a couple of them, good for your health, you will become good in that also. Are you getting what I am trying to say? So, this hundreds of things comes down into 10. Emotional need. Instead of chasing 10 different person, build up your relationship with one person. You save time, money, effort, everything. Sensible, no? Intelligent. I am not being moralistic, I am talking about being intelligent in what you are doing. Morals come in because as ethics come in because as an intelligent person he is ethical, naturally. Now, you have 100 desires, 10 priorities. Why are you doing that? Why do you want to fulfill your priorities? Tell me. Why? 100 desires you wanted for happiness, correct? To be happy. Because each one gave you some happiness when you fulfilled it. So, to be even more happy and a fulfilled being, you became intelligent and took to working on your priorities, correct? So, what are you really after in life? To be a fulfilled person. To be a fulfilled being, completely happy, fulfilled. That is fulfilled by a single desire called moksha. You have that, it is as good as all the thing being fulfilled. One single thing. Mokshecha. People say, a sadhu life is a very difficult life. No? Kya difficult hai? Anandi, Anand hai. What difficulty are you talking about? You don't have this, you don't. So, if you don't have it, what big deal? Yeah. The ananda that you are hoping for, through those things, you are going directly in terms of moksha. At the same time, to strike a note of caution, it may not be feasible for everyone to go directly for moksha. You may need a few other things in your life. Therefore, we will work on your priorities. Therefore, you work for moksha along with working for your priorities. Intelligent living. This is Vyavasayatmaka buddhi. Yeah. Therefore, your energies are not lost in 100 different activities, meaning focused. Yeah. To share my own life, when I was a young man doing my marine engineering, I had 100 irons in the fire. People are talking about having half a dozen irons in the fire. I have 100, including I had made plans as a marine trainee of opening up the waterways. Forget all this coastal road, etc. Even better, waterways. What type of vessels to be used for it? What all these plans I had made on one level. The other level, I used to date, dance, go for jam sessions, all that. Other level, I used to go to Swamiji in the ashram for a meditation session. Go for an all-night jam session, all-night dancing session, okay? And then morning go for Swamiji's meditation class and then come home and sleep. And I wouldn't sleep in the meditation. I was a person like that. High energy but dissipated all over. Then one camp in Lonavala, the Sahani's place where we saw, which is now in doldrums. That time it was a very bustling place. I said, hey, this is what I've been looking for. It changed my life forever. Therefore, one mokshecha can fulfill the whole thing. But being pragmatic, you may not be able to go directly into that. Therefore, have that half a dozen priorities around. Then you are not dissipated in your energies, you are focused in your life. There is a purpose in your life. Clear about this or any questions? This whole idea of priorities. Okay. In the 13th chapter of the Gita, Krishna puts in a value there. He talks about 20 values. One of the values is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanudarshanam. Janma, birth, Mrityu, death, Jara, old age, disease, Dukkham, sorrowful, Tasya Dosha Anudarshanam. Look at your life as filled with all this. That means you may live 100 years, but how much of time goes on all this? What do you want to focus on? Before the end, before you reach your dead end of this phase of life, what is it that you want to achieve? Is being a fulfilled person important for you? And that's where all your purposes are ending up there only, no? To be fulfilled as a person, to be happy as a person. But you think you will get happy through all this? That is socialization. In fact, if you asked a child, yours or somebody else, Beta, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the child says, I want to be happy. What will you tell the child? Beta, that is true. But what do you want to do to become happy? No, I just want to be happy. Then you start educating the child. That if you do these things, you'll be happy. Swamiji, can we take a child? I have a 6-year-old kid and take him straight to moksha? Not possible. Don't even think of it. Don't even dream of it. Why? You have to mature out in life. You need that maturity. But Shankara walked out at 6. Shankara had that maturity at 6. Somebody may have had it at 18 to make that decision. Somebody may have had it at 35. Somebody may have had it at 70. Another person at 80. And some people never at all. So, all these variety of human beings exist. We don't exclude anyone from the game. All varieties exist. But you need that maturity. Maturity comes from experiences of life. Experience will come when you try to get happiness through desires, etc. So instead of that, now refocus on priorities. Desires are there, of course, but on the need behind the desire. Automatically you get enough experience in life to mature out. You will automatically get married. Naturally you will get maturity. And people come and ask me, Swamiji, I want to be a full-timer like you. One question I ask them is this: have you ever fallen in love? No, never. As though for this you have to keep yourself pure. God is jealous, you know. You can't have you. Idiotic stupidities. I say, go, fall in love. Survive that and come back. Make it clear to the girl you are not looking for a permanent thing. That relationship will teach you a lot. Will help you understand another human being. And if you can understand another human being, you are ready to understand anything on earth. I'm not joking, I'm serious about it. I may present it in a jovial manner, but I'm serious about it. Yeah. But Swamiji, what if I get stuck there and get married, etc.? Then you'll be happy. What if you are not happy? What if I'm not happy? Then you can become a philosopher, no problems. That's why everyone should get married. Either you'll be happy or you'll become a philosopher, one of the two things. That's why every married person by the end of his life becomes a philosopher. Starts advising everyone on my philosophy of life. If I have learned anything from life, and he will start talking. Not that he is very wise, but whatever. If he has lived like intelligently, focused on priorities, etc., maturity will come in. At least you learn to focus on what is important. So working on your priorities. So I want to make a point here. If you see how I've used the word priority, it is different from what you use in your day-to-day work. What are your priorities for today? It is different from life priorities. Because there may be something important, but it may not be a priority today. I am talking about your life priorities as a whole. What are you going to do about it? The first question is identifying at any age. Swamiji, I'm 80 now, what priorities? Yeah, you're still alive, na? You're still alive. What's your priority? One person told me, Swamiji, only moksha. Are you sure? How often do you? Swamiji, I attend a class once a week. Do you some studies about it daily? No, not daily. Then what do you do? I do other things. So 2 days a week you go for a walk. 2 days a week you go to play bridge. 2 days a week you meet up with friends. And 1 day a week you study, you come to a class, Vedanta class. Is that priority of moksha? At 80? Some studies every day, a little bit japa dhyanam every day, a little bit meditation every day. Then your priority of moksha is there, otherwise it's not there. That's why I mentioned 80-year-old. I'm not talking about a 25-year-old. So, this type of intelligent living is Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi. Ultimately, Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi is single focused on moksha. Okay. Vyavasayatmaka Buddhi means total focus on moksha, that this is what will deliver the goods for me, this is what I want out of life. But accepting the practicalities of the situation of your life, that you may not be ready to focus that single pointedly on that, we will add in the other priorities. But remember, in fulfilling a priority, you are going to pick up a desire. Okay, my priority is health. What do you want to do for your health? Someone may have desire to go and join the gym, fine. So your priority of health is going through gym. Someone may be through a sport, priority is taken care of through that. Some person may say, I like to walk every day, fine, your priority is taken care of through that desire. So your desires still come into the picture, not that they don't come. But your focus is on what is behind it. Your focus is on what is behind it. Yeah. Is this making sense to all of you?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah. Because this is important to understand that life is intelligent only when you are focusing like this. Otherwise, we get unidimensional in life. Only work, only relationship, only the emotional. Yeah. I mean, I met all these type of people. These are all my observations of life. Like I knew this lady who took up a full-time job only at 50 when other people are thinking of retirement planning. Why? For her, the emotional needs of meeting friends, etc. was so much, she could never pick up a full-time job. Always doing some small side job here, there, some project, this, that, etc. She will travel all the way for 2 hours she will travel just to meet a friend. But 2 hours to travel up and down to work. Oh my God, I can't do that. Or the other way, work, you're a workaholic. Your whole self-esteem, everything comes only from your work, nothing else. This happens to a lot of people in today's world. Only from work. Hey, work is a very important dimension of your life. Nobody is saying no. Okay, as a sidelight, do you want to know what will give you passion in life? That activity which fulfills more than one of your priority. Physical, emotional, intellectual, etc. The more number of priorities that one activity fulfills, that is where you will be passionate about. Like I was passionate about martial arts. Why? Physical, emotional, the bonding with the martial art group. Intellectual in terms of learning new ideas, new pursuits. And the spiritual dimension of being focused, centered, etc. So it was fulfilling all this in me. So I was passionate about it. Somebody else may be passionate about something else, which is fine. Where more than one priority is fulfilled, you will get passionate. Therefore, you will get very passionate about moksha once you recognize that that is what fulfills all of them at one stroke. Then everything else will fall by the side. Be careful. Be careful. Especially youngsters. Because then your parents will come and complain about to me, okay? Swamiji, what have you done with my son? Think about this. This is a very, very important part of the Gita. Okay? Think about it. Okay? It's not something of my own teaching. It's not something I am making some changes in the traditional teaching. This is all part of the tradition, but very often traditional teachers don't know how to apply this thing to a modern situation. That's all. Okay? So think about this, and good place to stop. We'll come back to it later. Om Tat Sat.
Thank you.